right, so you'll be seeing this video shortly after. Anyway, I wasn't able to upload my other video, and by the time you're seeing this one, it will be very shortly after the video that I made 11 or 12 hours ago this morning. 11 hours ago. So it was a Saturday, lots of overtime, and very exhausted. Very exhausted. But I survived. I'm here. I'm going home. I'm going to try and enjoy the little bit of the weekend that I have left. This morning I really enjoyed my topic, so I was really hoping to have the video uploaded. And I tried for an hour, and it got to 7%. And I was like, oh, so yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I just bailed. I'm going to wait until I get home after this video, and I'll upload one, and then I'll upload the other. They'll be staggered by probably an hour and a half. And for now, that's my method. I really contemplated bringing the laptop and trying to do the thing, but it's just I don't have anything that I don't have anywhere to set it that it wouldn't like slide all over the place. It's a Surface. It's a Surface Pro, the first one, so it's old, like 2013. It's amazing. It's the newest laptop I have personally. My wife's is newer. But time just flies. Every year it's like 1 year goes by and you feel like your computer is an antique. But not really. I mean, I'm still using my 2009. My 2007 MacBook Pro is even functional, but the battery isn't in it, so it's basically like a desktop, basically. But yeah, the 2009 MacBook Pro is what I do my Friday night streams and pretty much everything I do when you see me at home. That's a 10-year-old laptop. Functional enough. I'd like to have a desktop PC where I could be a little bit more official, but I don't have a lot of needs for that. When the channel if the channel gets bigger and I'm doing more stuff, or if hypothetically if it ever went to more of a full-time basis, that idea really is nerve-wracking to me. Even though I really don't think that there's anything drastic that I'm doing that would be that would get me shut down or demonetized or kicked off or whatever. I don't know. I'll find a way. I talk about Jesus more than enough, so. But I'm not trying to do clickbaity stuff. Like, you wouldn't believe. I don't do any of that. I've made a couple of funny videos about Earth and the moon, but that's about it. There's other stuff I'll end up doing. I don't know. So yeah, my body hurts like my muscles. I think it's from lack of sleep. Because I woke up this morning before my alarm, which if you had watched my other video, the title of my other video that I made this morning that I haven't uploaded yet, the title will be Ice Cream. So if you haven't seen the video named Ice Cream that isn't uploaded yet, then watch Ice Cream, because it's fun. It's good. Very good. I enjoyed the topic, and I think it was good. This one, oh no, I don't know. I'm thinking about today's work and what I did, and why. I do know why. So they had told us it was going to be a mandatory 17, and it wound up being 15. That took me 10 hours, 10 and a half hours. But it could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. I'm thankful. Thankful for the work, just tired. Alright, so here's what I do want to talk about. This is relevant. There's been a lot of conflict in the chat. You like how I did the uptone? Uptones are hilarious to me. There's been a lot of conflict in the chat. And I just wonder. A lot of times it seems as though folks act like they have something to prove. And when I say that, I don't even know who I'm referring to. I'm thinking in a very general sense. So if you're like, oh my gosh, he's saying he thinks I have something to prove, oh my goodness. Well, no, but if you feel that way, then maybe you are acting that way. But I don't even know who I'm thinking of when I'm saying that. Just, it's such a blur in my mind. I'm reading all this stuff and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just so much. Too much. So, moderators and wrenches, there's no reason or need to attack anyone or to prove anything. And guests and other people that are hanging out, checking things out, I mean, I get that the live chat is part of the fun, which is what makes this video and all these videos until I get to 1,000 subscribers not as much fun. I get that. But on the other hand, if you're new to the internet, or you're expecting everyone to behave righteously or charitably or without their own issues, that's an unrealistic expectation. So what I'm trying to say is, not everybody is going to be like me. Well, that sounds really arrogant. I don't think I handle things the right way every time either. Remember, guys, we have sins of omission and sins of commission, and we need to ask for forgiveness for both of them. To the best of our ability, we need to give grace to each other. But yeah, I didn't want to spend too long on that topic because it's not relevant to everyone. But it's a work in progress. It's in the baby stages. 300 subscribers compared to, you know, a lot of other people out there. It's tiny. Tiny, tiny. So, what else? It's the weekend. I'll be back technically Monday evening for you, but I'll be recording Monday morning. Just won't be able to upload it until I get back home. I mean, if I had a camera that I could wire, like a wired camera that I could just wire from the laptop that was running the stream that was on the mobile hotspot, it'd be like a setup, and you know, I could do that. Just really a lot. And I don't get to have, you guys get to have the fun, but I wouldn't have any knowledge of what was going on in the chat. It would be kind of weird. But the main thing is I don't have that wired camera that doesn't exist. And it would need to be, I don't even know how that would work, if it's USB. If that's possible to have a USB camera that would have a mic and the camera running at the same time. Or, you know what I'm saying? One USB that did that. I don't know if such a thing exists. I'll look into it. It's tricky. I'm worn out. I am worn out. There have been a handful of people to donate to the cause recently, and I never say you guys' names, and you know, to some degree, it kind of impressed me how so many of you weren't interested in getting a shout out at all. And like, you know, hey, this is a gift from the heart, and I don't care about you know, mutual benefit or whatever. That's really cool. And when I'm giving and when I'm able to give, I usually prefer not to be acknowledged. Even thank you, it's like, yeah, I mean, I did what I was able, so yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, no. All I'm saying, what I'm saying, and put it in different words, there's a lot of mature people out there, and I'm thankful to be around folks that are mature and that get it. And when we have moments of immaturity, we learn, we grow, and we do our best to give grace. And yeah, there's a time to chastise. Hey, what's going on? Oh, you don't like that I'm going 2 miles under the speed limit? Is that why you looked at me really intently? I mean, I'm in the middle lane. You can go on the right or the left side of me. I'm like I'm not blocking anyone by just being in the middle lane. But here, I'll crank it up 1 mile. How about that? Now I'm only going 1 under. How do you like me now? Anyway. It's super foggy. I guess you can kind of see out my window. It's super foggy, like just dense. Like 1,500, maybe 2,500. Yeah, half a mile. About 2,500 foot visibility. It was worse on the bridge. But anyway. So, if you've watched the video titled Ice Cream, maybe you put a comment at the bottom of that one already. But if you haven't, then comment on that video or this video, whichever one you want. And I want you to use your imagination and see if you can come up with some fun analogies. And after you watch the video, excuse me. After you watch the video, you'll get it. You'll get what I'm talking about. So, it'll be fun. If you're wondering what I'm just sitting here in silence thinking about, it's prayer. So, I think about my prayer requests all the time, but I also, when I start doing that, if I think about prayer and I'm like, oh, these are the things I need, these are the things I'm praying about, I instantly am like, oh, but that's not what I want to pray about. Not exclusively. I think, oh man, who can I pray for? And, as I'm talking about this very moment, I'm going, oh, I know exactly what I can do. I know exactly what I can do and pray for and about. And part of it has to do with grace. Part of it has to do with health. There's people that need healing. And it can happen. can happen. And God gets the glory either way. God gets the glory either way. So, there's that. Is this a holiday weekend? Looks like a lot of people are out at the mall and stuff. Just looked really busy. I know it's a Saturday when people are usually doing fun stuff. Not me. Not me. I did in 10 hours what used to take me 2 days. I just condensed 16 hours of work into 10 hours with kind of brute force as one potential way of looking at it, and a little bit of assistance. I had a little bit of, I had a little bit of support that made it a little bit easier. Every time I see an RV, I'm like, man, could that be it? Could that be what we do? It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine. I've been in an RV one time in my life, and it didn't go very well. I was young and like a kid. It was just a bad time. I didn't eat very much today. I thought it might help me push through my work if I was hungry. But I neglected to drink enough liquid. I had 2 coffees. Like, wow, this is really going somewhere. I'm changing the channel now. He's talking about what he ate. We may as well. Well, he already talked about the weather when he was talking about the visibility of the fog. Now he's talking about what he ate today. This is really something. Well, here's the thing. Let me explain myself. When I talk about what I ate, okay, the reason it can be helpful, beneficial for you, is I'll usually end up talking about how that ties back into health or spiritual health or something. I usually don't just idly talk about nonsense just to fill in space. If that were the case, I'll just be quiet, or I'll just stop the video. If I really, really, really have nothing to say, or if I'm in an attitude, which I guess doesn't happen very often, I get in attitudes. Mostly my recent attitude has just been, hey, I'm tired. And as a result, I can be impatient. I can be a little less filtered when I'm tired. So you're saying you're filtered all the time, huh? Yes, it's called self-control. A lot of people don't understand that. But it takes practice, and it's not a big deal. You know, these things that you look at as really good people do, or whatever, It's usually not the case. It's usually people that know that they're not good, that are just trying to love God more, that are, getting it right. I am really tired, but it's good that I'm talking. It's good that I'm talking, because if I wasn't talking, at least on this trip, it might even be on the verge of dangerous. But it's challenging to talk for 45 minutes without just making noise that makes no sense. So you got to do what works for you. That's what people say, right? That's not always true. Any little quippy colloquialism like that can obviously be taken out of context and just be plain wrong. But back to the RV thing. I think I've mentioned this before, but I repeat myself. It is what it is. PayPal.me/DevinJump, DEVINJUMP. PayPal.me/DevinJump. Oh wow, that's amazing. That person has a boat that looks like a tank. It's got tracks on it, and it floats. Maybe it doesn't float. I don't know what that was. That was a weird thing. All right. PayPal.me/DevinJump, DEVINJUMP. Can't even spell my own name. That's how tired I am. You see my eyes looking all crazy like? Yeah, my eyes are all squinty because they hurt. My eyes are squinty because they hurt. And I'm just a whirlwind of a day. And that's another good thing about doing this. We do a little debriefing from the day, and that way by the time I get home, I'll still be tired, especially today. But if I debrief and especially if I get fired up about a topic or anything like that, I can walk in my home with a smile on my face, which usually when I hear, "Daddy!" it's hard to just be like, "Oh, I'm exhausted." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." And it is. It is great. Very thankful. See, I'm less tired. You might even see my eyes perking up just at the thought of it. It's beautiful. Legit, that just happened. It's like a lifting of the fog, so to speak. So talk about the RV. So my goal, I have a high goal, right? But then contingency plan after contingency plan. If I wind up with $9,000, I'll just, thank the Lord and hope that we can get something for $9,000 that doesn't leave us derelict and homeless. But, I mentioned before my long-term goal is 150. And that's a lofty goal. It is. I have no idea how that would happen. I mean, I could do math and be like, oh, this and this and that, but all of that is way beyond me and way beyond what's reasonable, and maybe it's all ridiculous and unrealistic and just naive and whatever else to even make a goal. Maybe it is, but I figure if there's any merit to it, there will be basically something's got to happen, and I'm doing what I can with what I've got. That's the gist. So just because money comes your way in life doesn't necessarily mean that God endorses what's going on. Hopefully you can understand that. It's pretty simple logic. Just because you're being financially prosperous doesn't mean that you're being endorsed by God. It's really important to recognize and understand that. Excuse me. With that being said, I've set a goal, and maybe we'll meet it, maybe we won't. But I'd like to do what I can. And how am I doing it? Just by making a bunch of videos about nothing and then asking folks to donate to a cause? No, hopefully not. What I hope to be able to do is I hope to be able to provide people with tangible benefits. Well, what do you mean by tangible? Like, I'd like to be able to do things that are beneficial. Things that result in good for you in your life. Let's say the sleep thing. I'd like to work with the folks that were saying they had difficulty falling asleep. I've put out some videos related to that, but maybe there's more needed. I'd love to be able to work through that. Maybe there's somebody that's still struggling with addiction in life, or not just still, but is and hasn't even decided to struggle yet, and maybe wants to start struggling against it. I can help with that. Mental illness. Well, how are you saying you're well, you don't know my history, I guess, but it's all good. I'm unlicensed because I refuse to be part of that system. But I'm a master's level clinician, technically, for counseling. More importantly, and I haven't gone through that certification either, but I might. The Biblical Counselors of America or whatever. I might go through that, but I know how to walk people through issues of mental illness in a biblical way. And there are others that can do that. Going to a biblically based counselor is a good thing. Counseling's not 100% whack. Especially biblically based, because the Bible helps you get it. So the whole thing about counseling and psychology and mental illnesses and all that, yeah, there's a lot of misinformation and agenda, and it's motivated by the drug companies and all this stuff. One of the reasons, here's a fun theory. Here's a fun one for you. This is fantastic. This just literally came into my mind, because it is very blatant that ADD and bipolar and depression are just massive, just overwhelming money makers for the drug companies. You want to know something that's interesting about each one of those? So let's take depression, for instance. Can it be a sin to be depressed? Can you choose to be depressed and therefore be sinning? Hypothetically, is depression a sin? No, it's a condition. It's symptoms. It's symptoms of a problem that may be related to sin, but depression all by itself, no. But here's the funny thing. This is what hit my mind. So all those are money makers, massive money makers for the drug companies. So this is interesting. Guess what you can't just take a drug for? A pill. Sin. Follow my logic here. You can't just take a pill for sin. It doesn't work that way. And I think that there is, I think it's reasonable to say that the reason that homosexuality was removed from the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Illnesses, DSM, in the DSM-2 or 3, I believe it was the 2. It was in the 1970s, but I believe it was in the 70s. But when it happened, I think it was the transition from the 2 to the 3. But when that happened, I think that it was perfectly afforded the opportunity to happen because there's no pill for it. That doesn't mean that it can't be fixed and stopped, obviously. However, I think that attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, take your pick, bipolar, depression, all these things that have anxiety disorders, all these things that you take pills for will never get removed from the DSM ever, because the drug companies could make money off of those. And the drug companies can't make money off of pills for living a I need to rephrase this. Sorry. For engaging in Gomorrhan activities. There's no pill for that. It's just not how it works. So I had to phrase that right. I was about to say something that I didn't agree with. I want to make sure to phrase that correctly. I'm home. I'm gonna see you later. I'll see you on Monday. You'll see me. I'll see you via this video filming myself, but you'll see me Monday evening. This is a Saturday afternoon chat. It's paypal.me/DevinJump, DevinJump. The link will be in the description. And that's all I've got to say is I've got a big goal, and the more I can raise by May of next year, the better off my family will be able to be, because we're gonna stop living in a house, more than likely, and we're gonna go to the RV life. If a massive amount of support comes and just things get really wild and I get way more support than I ever imagined, then we might just buy a little house that would be able to fit us. But I don't imagine that happening. God is bigger than my imagination, though, so you never know. If you'd like to support in any way, from 1 to a million, then the link's in the description. Thanks for you guys, and we'll do something soon. Monday night I'll be doing something fun. We'll hang out.